Hello and welcome to this video on bus stop division. In this video we're going to look at some decimals. Again, a really good starting point is learning your times tables, so do try and commit those to memory if you can, because it will just really help with each step of your working. So if you haven't watched the previous two videos on division, on bus stop division, I would recommend you watch those first. Bus stop division with decimals is not really much more to it. It's pretty much the same procedure, you just now need to think about a decimal point. So let's have a look at some examples. So example number 1 says 66.8 divided by 4. So let's start off drawing a bus stop. And we always put the divisor, this bit here, on the outside of the bus stop. And put the first number that you see in your question on the inside. So 4s into 6, that's my first question. How many 4s in 6? Well, there is one lot of 4 in 6, remainder 2. My next question becomes how many 4s in 26? Well, 6 4s are 24, and I've got 2 left over, and that remainder 2 goes here. And then my final question is how many 4s in 28? Well, that is 7. Where do you put your decimal point? Well, you just keep it absolutely in line with the one in the question. So as long as you're keeping all your digits in line, your decimal point should be in line. So let's just go through that question again. How many 4s in 6? I put the 1 directly above that 6. How many 4s in 26? Well, there are 6 4s. And then I put that 6 directly above there. And then you just keep your decimal point right in line. And then how many 4s in 28? Well, I put my answer to that directly above there. So 16.7 is your answer to that. Example number 2. 52.2 divided by 6. So 52.2. My first question to myself is how many 6s in 5? Well, I can't get 6s into 5, so I've got to put 0 there. But I can't just ignore that 5, I've got to put it here. So my new question to myself is how many 6s now in 52? Well, I know that 6 8s are 48, and that leaves me a remainder between 48 and 52 of 4. I've kept everything in line, so I'm now going to put my decimal point in line as well. And my last question is how many 6s in 42? 7. So your answer to that is 8.7. I do recommend you put your 0 at the front because it just helps keep everything in line. But your final answer there is 8.7. Example number 3, 28.5 divided by 3. So let's put the 3 on the outside and 28.5 on the inside. My first question is how many 3s in 2? Well, I can't do that, so I've got to put 0 there, but I can't ignore the 2, I've got to put it there. How many 3s in 28? Well, I know that 3 9s are 27, and I've got 1 left over. Keeping everything in line, that means I'm going to put my decimal point there. And then my final question is how many 3s in 15, which is 5. So your answer to that is 9.5. Example 4, 171.5 divided by 7. We need to know our 7 times table now. 7 goes on the outside. 171.5 on the inside. First question is how many 7s in 1? Well, there are no 7s in 1, but I have to then account for that 1 and put it there. My next question is how many 7s in 17? Well, there are 2 7s. 2 7s make 14, so I have a remainder of 3 between 14 and 17. How many 7s in 31? Well, 7 4s are 28. And then I've got 28, 29, 30, 31, 3 remaining. Keeping everything in line, putting my decimal point there. And my final question is how many 7's in 35, which is 5. 24.5 is your answer to that one. Example number 5. 49.36 divided by 8. Oh dear, what's happened there? 49.36. So your first question to yourself is how many 8's in 4? Well, there are no 8's in 4, but I've got to still think about that 4. My next question is how many 8's in 49? Well, I know that 6 8's are 48, and I've got 1 left over. Keep everything in line, put your decimal point there. How many 8's in 13? 1. Remainder 5. And then how many 8's in 56? 7. 6.17. Example 6. 0.441 divided by 9. Exactly the same principle. Just going to put 9 on the outside, 0.441 on the inside. Let's make that decimal point a bit clearer. 0.441. My first question is how many 9's in 0? Well, none. And I've got nothing there, so that's not a number that I need to consider, so I don't need to put it in front of here. My next question is how many 9's in 4? Well, there are no 9's in 4, but I still have to think about that 4, but I'm going to put it here. So my new question is how many 9's in 44? Well, 9 4's are 36, and then I have 8 left over. And how many 9's in 81? Well, 9 9's at 81. So my answer to that is 0.049. Okay, here are a couple for you to have a go at. So pause the video, have a go at these, lay out your workings in a nice bus stop, keep everything in line, make sure you keep your digits in line, decimal points in line, and then you can resume the video to see the answers. And here are the answers. Well done for having a go at those.